white balance. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I have a good news to share with you. I have made to 1000 subscribers. And I passed more than 4,000 hours, which means finally I can apply for monetization, which also means that basically I can get paid for the videos that I'm making, which is awesome. And yeah, makes a lot of change. I don't think it's going to make a lot of change financially, because we all know that it's not really a lot of money in YouTube at the very beginning, but it does give you a lot of motivation, because at the end of the day, many people does YouTube for different reasons. For some it's a full-time job, for some it's a hobby, or for some it's also kind of like weekend side job. You get paid a little bit and you get to do what you love. Now for me is the third one, although a bit of more money would be nice to motivate me, and all my project cost money, so at least I could recover some cost out of these ad revenue. So yeah, I'm very excited. So this video, first of all, will be categorized in 3 categories. You see, first, what is this YouTube channel about? Why did I start? A bit of both at the same time. And what kind of content currently I have made, the library in my YouTube channel, and what is the future, what is going to be as of now. So if you want to jump back and forth, feel free to put the slider back and forth to jump section, or you can watch the whole video. I mean, maybe, just maybe, you could pick up something out of it and use it for your own personal project, because at the end of the day we all have different projects, different ideas, different everything. We are not the same. Entertainment channel will be very different than the mathematics channel, to then the French language learning channels, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So essentially my channel is not going to be the same as yours. So if you are trying to create something completely different, such as DIY I believe, then my ideas will not help you. But what will help you is the principle, which is the consistency and the hard work that I have put behind. So probably, just probably, you could pick something out of it. So first thing first, why I have created that YouTube channel? Well, in middle of 2019, me and my wife were thinking about moving from Paris to Reunion Island. Before we moved to Reunion Island, which we are currently now, we decided to go on a travel, like 100 days in Europe. So we bought a ticket, which allows you to travel basically all the European economic zone by train, which is pretty freaking phenomenal. And we filled up our bag and then traveled 11 countries, and I believe 39 cities in Europe. Craziest experience of my life. Essentially a guy who born in Bangladesh, that's just a dream come true. Anyway, so idea was this: I'm going to write some blog. So I opened a WordPress website for free. But if you want to open your own blog, link in the description below, so that you just have to open it for free. It doesn't cost you any money, but I will maybe earn something if they pay me some. Anyway, so our idea was to open a blog, write about its city and country culture. Then I was gonna upload some photos, create a quick video in YouTube, and then link that YouTube to my blog, so that I can build something, because the trip cost me a lot of money. So idea was that if I could recover some cost out of this, that would help. And if you want to know that if it worked, it didn't. It in fact failed miserably. Yes, I created the whole series of travel. I wrote a lot. Basically, end of each day during the 100 days. I edited photos, I made some quick videos, and I uploaded it in YouTube and posted in blog. You got the idea? Visit my blog, you will see them. They are actually horrible in the sense of there's no organization. Everything was made in a hurry. But I wrote down my memories and they are fresh. But I didn't get any kind of financial benefits whatsoever. Turns out that there are much bigger player in YouTube and blogging for travels, and I'm just the tiniest fish in the ocean. So that was kind of embarrassing. But I wanted to continue this project. I wanted to do something out of creativity. So we got back from the trip on March 14th, 2020. And you know what happened in 2020? 4 days later, which turns out that it's C-19. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word. And the whole world shut down and no jobs. And 3 months later, we moved to Reunion Island. Then still no jobs. I still don't have any job. My wife fortunately got a job, but I'm still jobless and I'm feeling so shy talking about it because I'm a jobless man. So I dedicated my time, full time, 100% on this world of YouTube completely. I didn't know anything. So what I did, I said, okay, I know this software and I know that software. What if I just create the whole tutorial series in YouTube and see where it's going? So yeah, this is how I build my website. Basically, I create the whole tutorial on SilkyPix Developer Studio Pro, which is a fantastic software, Lightroom alternative made in Japan. A beautiful color, pretty difficult to understand at the beginning, but later I'm a big fan officially. I'm probably not going to move anywhere else except that in terms of the photo editing. And then I want to find the Photoshop alternative. And I tried GIMP. Again, thanks to the open source community, this is one of the best software I've ever used. However, I wanted to get something more mainstream, but not Photoshop because again, I'm broke, jobless, don't have the money to pay for every month. Yeah, €9 is nothing for a lot of people, but for me it was a lot. And I couldn't justify something paying for it when I'm not getting anything. And because of this situation going on, God, it's so difficult to talk about the problem in YouTube these days. The Sheriff Affinity decided to give discount on all Affinity software, and I bought all of them. And I said, I'm going to create the basic tutorial of Affinity Photo. It could not get more more basic than that. It just for the the software tutorial for the stupids, you can call it. And then when I finished the SilkyPix and Affinity Photo tutorial, I continued to move on to any software that I could get my hands on. So that could be Canon DPP, DxO. Any software in the market had 30 days 30 days of trial. I would download the trial, practice it for 1 week, understand it, study it, and then create one or many tutorials out of it. And then I will just uninstall it. And that's how I created the whole library in my YouTube. You can go to my YouTube library and then you can see that there is a whole bunch. Basically, there's almost no software that I didn't make a tutorial of. Crazy. In between, I created some photography advice video, like a very short 2 minutes or 3 minutes. To be honest, I'm very, very embarrassed by them. I never felt that embarrassed in my life until I was watching the videos that I made. I was cringing. I was giving advice, but they was nice and cute, but God, they were so difficult to watch. But I did not delete them. So you can go watch those videos and you can make fun of me if you want to. More than welcome. Be my guest. Whatever way I could entertain you, Now, here is the interesting part. I wrote a lot of articles in my website based on the YouTube videos that I made. Notably the SilkyPix Developer Studio Pro, DxO, Topaz, and all that. And the response was overwhelming because there's so many people found my articles in Google search. They wrote them. Some of them paid me, donated me some money on PayPal, and 3 of the folks became my patron in my Patreon. Link in the description below if you want to contribute to my project. That would be really, really nice. But anyway, and I was already on just on 400 or 500 subscriber, which is practically nothing. Like I was way behind the goal, but I was already technically monetized before I was officially monetized. People these days don't pay you a dime, let alone supporting you. They don't just do or open their wallet to you unless you're giving them something back. And it's not the amount of money that they paid me, it's the gesture. And another way to say that your content is worth it, so thank you, and this is the reward for your work. This is how all this financial contribution translated to me. And it's not just the money. Many folks emailed me, they still do email me, send me photos, ask me questions. So whole YouTube project turned into completely whole different thing. And then I opened a Facebook group based on Affinity Photo, where I have 1,500 or more followers or members in that Facebook group based on Affinity Photo basics. And I opened just recently a Reddit group on film photography, more into it later. So instead of becoming a YouTube person, I became an internet person. So yeah, that's the whole journey of my YouTube. Now again, this YouTube channel is supposed to be a photography channel, a travel channel, then turn into a software tutorial channel, but I really wanted to be a photography channel. Now why? Because photography is not just teaching you software. Software has nothing to do with photography at all. Even though they sell, clearly every single tutorial that I made, people loving it, people watching it, and most of my subscriber and views are coming from those tutorials. It's kind of bittersweet feeling. Like, yes, thank you so much for watching it, but every time I'm trying to create a little bit of photography side of the YouTube, I was getting less view because there are bigger players out there who speaks better English than me, who can speak in front of the camera better than me, who has more resources than me, better camera, better everything in me than me. So I was not doing anything at all, and they have loyal followers. That's important. Loyal people are not gonna just watch anybody. Software tutorials are not the same, but people just these days don't watch anybody. They have to invest their time carefully, and they do. But I am going to change or stay in the photography domain, but from end of September or end of October, depends, I am going to start film photography. So essentially, it's going to be nothing to do with teaching film photography. I'm the last person in the planet to talk about film. There are Nick Kerbers, I think. He's the best, in my opinion. Many more. Those guys are doing a lot of film photography on the most craziest camera that available in the market. I don't have the money, the resource. I live in Reunion Island. We got nothing here. But I got a cheap Canon camera, film, and I have access to the chemicals to develop film, and I've got access to something more important. Reunion Island, where I live. Probably one of the most beautiful places in the planet. I'm going to go places to places, explore. I'll show you what I'm doing. And then I am going to take photos, analyze them, talk about them, show you how I scan them. All kind of things. Like it's more like an outdoor film photography process from the beginning to the printing. So that is where the future holds. And I'm going to try it for a couple of months. It's going to be exciting. And I'm a beginner, so it's also going to be very embarrassing at the same time. But what I learned in this whole journey that try everything, but don't change too far. Like, don't go from cooking channel to French language teaching channel. They're a whole different thing. So I decided to stick with this photography domain, but try the different section of it, from the software to the photography outside. And time to time in between, I will be doing tutorials on certain softwares. Of course, every time there's a new version come, I'm trying to catch up with the other YouTubers and try to create something my way. That's it, my way and my way only. I don't care who does what. Those are not my problem. I hope that you understood and I explained well my journey from the beginning to the end. And I hope to get a proper job that pays salary permanently. If I do so, I'm probably going to do 2 videos per week, per month, and then at least 1 video per month, but proper experience. Like, you're going to love it, I promise you. At least I will work hours behind that one single video every time it gets posted in my channel. But until then, I'm going to keep pushing contents and see what that takes me, because the way I learned that you don't know what's happening tomorrow. So as of today, this is my goal, and I hope that you understood and you picked up some ideas out of it. If so, then I'm glad to help. And if you are not subscribed, please do subscribe. You know, we all in the same road, same journey. So we're gonna help each other. I promise I try my best to help you. And most importantly, look after yourself. I love you all. Bye-bye.